This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbete TV Radio, the best in entertainment and sports. And that's all, folks. It's Elegbete TV Radio. Follow us on social media at Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Frank Idemudia Alapa. That's my name. Talking sports is my game, and I am the greatest. I love listening to Elegbete TV Radio. For undiluted, unadulterated, it's probably replicated but still not yet duplicated. It's sports only on Elegbete TV Radio. I seriously love listening to it.
Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timi Dakolo, and you're listening to Elegbete TV Radio. Stay tuned.
Elegbete TV Radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Idafe Matthias. I love to come with Elegbete on the Sports wherever you are. Let's get in on the conversation. A lot needs to be talked about, and we are here to talk about it for the next 1 hour, 3 minutes of that 1 hour already, because it's 3 minutes past the hour of 9 a.m. in the morning in Nigeria. There are different time zones in different places. Right now, in this space where we are, it is 9 a.m., but somewhere somebody is dealing with midnight sleep and they're trying to get in on the show. I do understand. And I am very, very grateful for the love and the time, the commitment to be part of my show. Like, I really love it, okay? I love the community that we have built, the people that are committed to being on the show. I love it. I wouldn't lie. I love it. And I crave more of it on a daily basis. I look forward to coming on the show and having to have a conversation with you people, talk intelligently, intellectual conversation with you people, and, preferring solution, bantering, laughing, joking, and having fun, okay? It's something that I love, okay? Last weekend, I was at a comedy show, Lies the Two Doors by Sim Card. It was a beautiful show. It was a very, very beautiful show. I had Timi Dakolo singing, had a few comedy art. Akboro was there. Aproko, I think that Aproko is a fantastic comedian. But then there is football, is the international week, and the Super Eagles camp in Cote d'Ivoire is already open. Players are trooping into camp. Everybody's feeling irie. Everybody's getting excited. We have 6 out of the 6 points that is available for the next 2 games against Rwanda and Benin Republic. We need 1 point. And that kind of thing is what I don't like. We don't need 1 point. We need all the 6 points. Let's go get 6 points. Let's show dominance. Let's show power. Let's show strength. Let's be super. Let's let the super in the Eagles show again. And let's be Super Eagles and conquer. That our World Cup qualification is precariously, delicately poised at the very edge of the cliff, and we're calling on God, please help me, God, please help me. Even, if God says to us right now, let go, it will be hard for us to let go because we don't even trust God. We don't trust ourselves, and anybody who don't trust themselves cannot trust any other person. It's just the way life works, okay? What you give to the universe is what the universe will give back to you, right? Whatever it is, so many talk, and leak video, came out, and they saw a referee ranting on the coach. I think that European football, especially the Premier League, it's gotten to a place where you can really say to yourself, I want to switch off from football, because football is more toxic now than entertainment. There are too many things. There are some people whose job is they've opened their office, they are lip reader. People will tell you they are lip reading. That's not the job of. I know that talking point is good. I know that the whole buzz around media is good. Everybody wants the media buzz and all that. I agree. It's important. If not, we will not have a job. If not, we will not be here and people gathering, to talk about it. But sometimes some sleeping dog should be let go. A referee said something to Jurgen Klopp 4 years ago, and it's trending now. What happened to 4 years ago? That was not important. And then when you look at, referees in England especially, are like Nigerian police. And they have a lot of common. They wear black together. They have power. They have control, but they don't have money. You're refereeing a game where people who are misbehaving, petulant young men who are misbehaving on the field are earning 350K and they are going to pay you £1,500. So for a Nigerian who is converting that money into naira is big money, but £1,500 is £1,500. You will still pay tax from it, you will still pay your bills and all that. And then when these guys are coming in with their Ferrari and the rest, you're still going to join train or drive your small Vauxhall and all that and go back. There is the tendency, humans are humans, there is the tendency to want to do bad. There's the tendency to just look at things as like, am I not the one controlling this game? Let me even mess it up, right? That's what, because when I look at the Nigerian police, I came to the conclusion that Nigerian police are not bad. It is the payment, the poverty in them that is bringing out the bad in them. I reason, if you've ever done business with any big company in Nigeria and you go to their offices, two things you will notice. They have their private securities and then they have their policemen, mopo or whatever there. You will notice that those mopo, whether in the banks, the big banks, in their major head offices, these companies in Ikoyi and, Ikeja, big area, Lekki, you notice that the policemen are well dressed. Their khaki is neat, well starched, their boots is clean, their guns, everything is nice. They don't enter Koroko buses dressed like kidnappers, eyes red, alcoholic, looking like they want to kidnap somebody. No, they are prime and proper. You know why? Because apart from the money, the 45,000 or 80,000 that comes from the Nigerian police, that company pays them like their workers, 250, 300, sometimes 500K a month. So they don't have to behave rudely, so they don't lose that job. And because of that security of the job and their pay, their welfare is good, you don't see them misbehaving. If you go, like I go to offices a lot. I mean, if you're in my job, you would have to visit people. I visit people. You see how courteous, how nice, how polite these police are. And because of that, I've had to engage a lot of these police. Come, wait till make una they behave well here. But for road, una they behave like demons. I always ask them. And it's like, my brother, you will not understand. I said, please, but that's why I'm asking. If I understand, I will not ask you. What I'm asking is, I cannot comprehend how you people go from these decent people that I'm seeing, being trained by the same police academy, everything, and to the mad people on the roadside. And my brother told me that. I said, but it's the truth. Are you not ashamed of the police that you said? I said, yes. Say, my brother, let me explain. And then some will be kind enough to explain. And they tell you, see this uniform that they wear, see what it costs. And I'm thinking one of the things that I would do when our numbers are not there yet, so we cannot even afford it. But when our numbers get up to a stage, one of the things that I would do is take it upon myself to buy police. We just go out there, spot one or two police, buy them uniform, buy them boots, pay for, let them look good. If you travel from the airport to the street, you respect police by the way they look. You know how they say how you dress is how you be addressed. That's the thing about police. I remember when I was in Brazil and I saw the police and I was asking, is it that they screen them for their height? For that 5 weeks, I didn't see a short policeman. I didn't see a policeman with big tummy like we see here, eating amala and staining their clothes. But they just nice. Germany too, France. When we're in France, say police and soldier in the airport all carrying gun. For me, it is not right saying gun at the airport, but the way they are kitted, So let me tell you something about Brazil. We were me and Vados were looking for a supermarket to go buy some stuff. I will drive past this cemetery. Cemetery is like military cemetery in Virginia in the US, right? Everything is just beautiful, well lit. And Ovado said, "Ha, see same evil cemetery, fine, something you will like that." It sounded funny, but he said it. And every time I think about it, I remember immediately I called my wife and said, "See what Ovado said." It just kept me laughing, but it's the reality of life. I think that we should be a little bit organized, be structured, be fine, and everything will be fine. Having said that, see, national grid is falling every day. We can't even have full current. We can't, everything is terrible. But let's come back and talk about football. Now, the big one is Ruben and Amorim, have come in, take over, even though there's an international break. But as expected, as I would have done. I'm not, one of those who is lamenting that why would you do that? And people are start playing the legend card that it's not even necessary. Oh, a whole legend of the club. Why would they do like that? Man, shut up. It has no business being there. If he was that good, nobody would go look for Amorim and pay 10 million euros to get him out of the Sporting contract. There's a reason why they went for him. So let him come and do his job. And don't put somebody there that will make him not have excuse that, I would have done well, but the route Van Nistelrooy that they gave me, undermined me. Those kind of things are the things that you want to avoid as a football club. Because again, as a football club, when you employ somebody, you want to give them the free rein to say, I've given you everything that will make you deliver, and I need you to deliver. So, what's your take on it? Ruben Amorim, telling the board that he doesn't want Ruben Van Nistelrooy. Ruben Van Nistelrooy been told, bye-bye, okay, your days have expired. Your stay here is expired. Bye bye. And I also think that Ruben Amorim is the first post Sir Alex Ferguson manager that would not be bothered by the weight of Sir Alex Ferguson and all these legends, all those ones in the media. They can talk all the word they want to talk. The truth is, Ruben Amorim does come to me as a guy. Now, from this moment, I can sit here and predict that Man United will end up in the top 4, top 5 position at the end of the season, because I don't think that the players are really that bad. I just think that, they were having a very bad coach in Erik ten Hag. And I think that from now on, Man United is a team to be afraid of. If you want to bet, you can bet on them. If you also want to badmouth a team, don't badmouth Man United. Man United are coming, and everybody should be very, very aware. Well, let's go to the camp of Arsenal. Arsenal are sweating over injuries to Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice. And Declan Rice picked up in the Fiesta London derby against Chelsea. Was that Fiesta? I mean, I've seen Fiesta, Man United, Arsenal. I've seen Chelsea, Arsenal, Fiesta. That was an intense game, but not really Fiesta. Fiesta does not describe it, but that's what the Daily Mail have chosen to use today. With Mikel Arteta doing lead to allay concerns after the match, the Gunners took the lead against Enzo Maresca's outfit, courtesy of a composed near-post strike from Gabriel Martinelli on the hour mark before a Pedro Neto long-range effort restored parity 10 minutes later. The points steadied the ship for Arsenal after a run of poor result, but the second half will have been tarnished somewhat after injury blows to two of the side's most important stars. Okay, I don't know if they are the most important stars. Rice was in that before the match with a broken toe and seemed to hobble off on 71 minutes before England teammate Saka was substituted after a heavy tackle from man of the match, Marc Cucurella. Following the draw, Arteta issued a worrying update on the injuries suffered by the pair. Now you will know that when I was telling you to go buy a competition for Bukayo Saka, you think I was drunk. He said they don't look very good, to be fair. I don't know if long term, but they both couldn't finish the game, so not good. Arteta will not be the only one concerned over the duo's fitness, with their national boss Lee Casley also needing the Arsenal stars to be fit for the international break, where they are not going to be available for you. Sorry. The Three Lions have vital Nations League matches against Greece and Ireland coming up in what are the interim boss final 2 games before handing over to the new manager Thomas Tuchel. And we hear that Thomas Tuchel and Lee Casley have not spoken. So I don't know. If Rice and Saka are judged to be unfit for the international fixture, it might be good news for Arteta, as it would give them 2 weeks to get fit for the Gunners' next match against high-flying Nottingham Forest on November 23rd. That's now become a very difficult game. Even when they were not high-flying, they were a problem for Arsenal. Okay, so now we're going to have to deal with a team that is high-flying, that know what they're doing, and they are the team that is taking Edu from us. So we're going to be very, very careful on this one, as an Arsenal fan, I know that some people have already sent me a message to say, don't worry, that one is 3-point guaranteed. I don't know where that confidence is coming from, but you should swallow your pride a bit and be humble. Arsenal is not really that top of the line team where you say, oh, they can do without they can beat what's it called? They can beat Nottingham Forest over just like that. I don't think they can, but we should just watch and see. Arsenal might have received a boost after their captain Odegaard returned for the London derby, but Arteta is still suffering injury headache across his squad. Defenders Takehiro Tomiyasu, Ricardo Calafiori, Karantiani, I don't know, did not be part of Arsenal team, all remain out of contention thanks to long-standing issues. All are expected to be in with a chance, however, of giving this penalty boost by returning after the international break. The tense encounter on Sunday featured a high-quality battle between Saka and Cucurella on the flanks, which the Blue Star ultimately came out on top in. World-class Bukayo Saka could not survive that one. He ended up picking up injury. Let's hope that the next time he plays, he will play well, since his battery, Martin Odegaard, is back. Collecting the Man of the Match award, the former Brighton man told the Sky Sports Saka is a top player, will play a lot of times against each other. Big respect, and I try hard to do my work. A good battle, and hopefully I can do more of this. I try to not give him space, be close to him always. He's a special talent, so do my work and help my team by doing my job. Today, I gave the best of me and we got a point. Arsenal missed a late chance to take all 3 points in installment, which did neither team any real favor, with both London side stranded 9 points behind leaders Liverpool. William Saliba picked up the ball in an uncharacteristic left-wing position and squared it across the face of the box, only for the stretching Leandro Trossard to deflect it wide and pass his exasperated teammate queuing up behind him. The much-hyped derby pitted the resurgent Chelsea side against an Arsenal outfit hoping for their first Premier League win in 4, but the opening period proved to be a turgid affair. Kai Havertz thought he had given the Gunners a lead, blah, 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 blah. Let's leave all that part. We already know that. But that's the injury situation, injury update for Arsenal on those two players. Let's hope that by the time the international break is done, we would have had enough reason to say, okay, we got all the players back. I hope that Manchester United, Manchester Cities will have majority of their players back as well, and then it would help the cost of the competition, because right now the way the competition is going and it's not, strolling to the title, it's looking like the big excuse at the end of the day will be, the way NEPA have taken like now, they say, our glory was taken away because what is it called? Players were injured. If players were not injured, Liverpool would not have won it. Remember that Liverpool won the COVID version of the league with match fixing that favored them and bad refereeing that favored them. So you don't want to have that again this time around. So Liverpool won it. Every time Liverpool's winning the league, something is happening to other people. Well, Liverpool has also had their own injury issues that benefited other people. But we just want to see a keenly contested battle right straight to the wire, like that one that Liverpool and Man City went to the wire. Last season, Arsenal and Man City went to the wire. We want to see 3-4 teams or battling it up to the wire. But one of the things that I can say with Enzo Maresca, what he's building, and hopefully, what Amorim will do with Man United, unless the demons of the players get them to down tools and then cause problem. I think that we would have the traditional top 4 back in the Premier League. That is the Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea. Unfortunately, one of the 5, because it's not big 5, right? One of the 5 would have to struggle out of the top 4 every season, because I think that the resurgence of Manchester United is about to start. And I know a lot of you guys will say, what's it that he's saying? I beg you, keep quiet. Yeah, but we will see, okay? And I also think that Arteta needs to start doing himself a lot of good, because traditionally, from the Wenger era to now, Arsenal have always competed against one team, and whenever that team is weak, Arsenal gone on to win the title. And then since then, when it became like 2 or 3 teams, Arsenal have not won the title. Yeah, so I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, what can Arsenal do different to give them, because another one season without the title, nobody's going to listen to any excuse anymore. Nobody's going to look at Arteta and say, but he tried. Nobody's going to say that. And then knowing fully well that next season, Enzo Maresca will be told, go and compete for the title. Same with Ruben Amorim. This season is go and steady the ship. Next season, do whatever it takes to get your contract extended. So we are in a place where that's going to happen. But let's go to the news that's put together by Timothy Daimbo and start with Danny Welbeck about Amorim. Former Manchester United forward and current Brighton and Hove Albion striker Danny Welbeck shared his thoughts on Manchester United's new head coach Ruben Amorim. Amorim officially began his role as Manchester United yesterday. Speaking to Sky Sports, Welbeck expressed optimism about the appointment, noting that Amorim's brand of football at Sporting Lisbon was impressive. He believed that if Amorim successfully implement his ideas at United, fans can expect an exciting style of play, although he acknowledged that it will come with challenges. Okay, let's hear from Danny Welbeck.
Like in the Champions League, and especially when they played Arsenal last season, like the football that they played and the performances was brilliant. So I think it's an exciting appointment, and one that I feel like once he gets his ideas across to the caliber of players at Manchester United, and if he gets them ticking, then it's going to be hopefully for United, it's going to be the right appointment. So somebody's got to take the job and put them in the best position, and I think the owners there have made that decision, and that's what they've gone with. So it's going to be exciting. It's not going to be easy, but it'd be one that obviously I'll be looking at closely anyway.
Elegbete TV Radio. We dare to lead.
Well, for those of you out there, do you really think that? Because the question, somebody said, does the style that they play, the 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 system, does it work for Man United? And a lot of time when people ask that question, I'm always a little bit bothered, because why do we always, worry about the tactics of the coach? Is it that players cannot adapt? Players are rigid and set in stone to play just one particular style. It has to be far at the back. This club must play far at the back. I know that some clubs are traditional in their ways. But then, if you're traditional in your ways, then you have to create coaches that are traditional in your ways, or you have to sign coaches that are traditional in your ways. I think that one of the things about growth in football is that you also allow your new coach, your new manager to come in and bring his style. And say, okay, we like what you do, we've seen what you do, we like it, we want you to bring that style into our space, and we would see how we can roll with it. But then everybody's saying, do you really think it can work? Do you really see this working? I'm always bothered a bit, because professional footballers know that, one, they will move club from one club to the other. They will lose coaches, one coach to another coach. So you can't tell me that I started playing football, this is how I will play no matter what. No, you have to adjust your game to suit the system you play. That's what the requirement of being a professional is. And if you can't do that, my brother, you're never ready. You're never ready. It's like saying, I want to go to Europe, I want to go to US or Canada, but I don't like snow, I don't like winter, I don't like cold. My brother, stay your place. I want to be a surgeon, but I don't like blood. No. Don't. Even if you want to be native doctor, you go see do blood. You go see one foul neck. You don't understand. Let's go to Ruben Dias and hear what he's got to say. Okay, Manchester City defender Ruben Dias says this season is going to be very wild season based on how things have taken shape so far. After the weekend game in the Premier League, Liverpool opened up a 5-point lead against Man City in second at the top of the table going into the international break. Speaking to Sky Sports, Dyer said he's expecting a tough season ahead, although it may not be looking so nice for them right now, but there is still a lot to play for, and the fight is still on to the end of the season. He also said that Man City players, they get better when people start adapting them. So people better be careful how they adapt them. Let's hear.
Just as we're not out, they're not out, no one's out. Still early days in the season, and obviously there's still a lot to happen. And we all know how the Premier League is. That's why we love it so much. And we also know that this is going to be a very wild season in terms of time to rest and just dealing with it and move on and move forward. So it's a long run. We're maybe 1/3 halfway, more or less, getting to the halfway. So yeah, still a lot to play.
I agree with him that there's a lot to play, nothing to write right now. But Liverpool, like the animal sloth, are slowly running away with it. Somebody needs to do something and stop them as fast as possible. But then it's also be interesting to see Liverpool win it. Come out of nowhere, being written off, being said that your club is gone, they can't survive, but then see them winning. But I also want to see Liverpool go through like a little bit of dark patches and see how they will react, because every coach is a mastermind when they are winning matches. Every coach is the excellence of execution when they are winning matches. But you also want to see what makes them tick, and that's when the storm comes. Okay, you want to see them in the storm. You want to see whether they'll be fighting their players, they'll be fighting the press, they'll be fighting the management. Antonio Conte is a good coach when he's winning, but when he's not winning, he's blaming everybody but himself. So you want to see some of these things happen. Pep Guardiola is looking way different right now, collapsing on the chair, kicking his seat. That kind of thing. You want to see. I really want to see Liverpool go through this proper patch a bit and see how it goes. Arteta looks tall when Arsenal is winning, but when they are losing, you know that it's closer to Aki Ababa. You just see that his knicker is short like Mr. Miyagi. I know some of you don't know who Mr. Miyagi is, but his trouser begins to look as short like Mr. Miyagi's trouser. Well, let's go to Phil Jones and hear what he's going to say about Manchester United. Former Manchester United defender Phil Jones is confident that Marcus Rashford can rediscover his best form under new manager Ruben Amorim. Amorim is not here to come and revive dead bones. Rashford no one discovered from I know. Rashford hasn't had an easy time since last season. Speaking as a BBC radio analyst, just spoke highly of his talent. He said Rashford just needs the right support and encouragement in training, and is certain Amorim can help bring out the best in him. All these footballers, when they always say they need the encouragement, your encouragement is your salary. And these guys cannot work in the place I used to work with. That place, nobody's encouraging you. Everybody wants to see you. Everybody wants to run you down. Everybody wants to see you fail. But let's hear from Phil Jones anyway.
I can't speak highly enough of him. He's absolutely deadly in front of goal. I remember his first training session he had for England, and all the boys in the changing room after was like, wow, what a player. Like, never seen anything like it. He's got so much ability. He just needs a little bit of love, a little bit of support in training, off the pitch. And I think he probably wasn't getting that from the previous manager, and hopefully, and I think he will, that this manager will give him the Marcus Rashford I know. He loves being out on the pitch. He loves training. I think a bit of love, a bit of support, get him firing again. I do think we'll see the best out of Marcus Rashford under the new manager.
Let me just ask this question. In your workplace, in your every kind of work, not just football now, do you really need your managers to love you to perform? You really need your boss to love you to perform, or you just want to, like me, I just want to guarantee that my payment will be made, right? I perform for my name. I always tell people that I don't perform. I don't need anybody. I used to tell Femi Raji, I said, Raji, you would always be you. This is who you are. You would do what you would do. It is my job. It is my job to do what I would do. Now, if what you would do is try to frustrate me, I see you as an opposition player. My job is to dribble around you, cross the ball in, or shoot the ball into goal, and then go and celebrate. I could even celebrate in your front. I don't care whether you like me or you don't like me, because the people who is mandatory for them to like me, it's my mother and my father. My father died pretty early. I can't even tell you whether he liked me or not. I can't also tell you whether my mother liked me or not. Now, that's one part. Now, currently, the people who are, if they like me, it's a bonus, but it's my job. It's mandatory that I love them. It's my children and my wife. And outside that, I don't really care. It's the truth. But when you hear players, you need to put a hand around them, you have to love them, you have to care for them. Oh God, I did not pay your salary. I did not giving you everything you need. I watch rugby and I see people going at each other, break nose, bleed, but they still come back and play. Football, you want to love them, you have to kiss them, you have to hug them, you have to wear them diapers, you have to tell them bedtime stories. Shut up. Come on, go and play the ball that you're supposed to play. But I don't know. It's what football has become. And I don't know what that is, but anyway, let's jump into tennis and see whether they're loving them or they're not loving them. Wimbledon champion Carlos Alcaraz, okay, was stunned by Casper Ruud, not Ruud van Nistelrooy, in a very rude manner in his opening match at the ATP Finals in Turin on Monday. Ruud, the Norwegian star, took up the John Newcomb Group with a decisive 6-1-7-5 victory over the world number 3 at the Inalpi Arena. The 2022 finalists took full advantage of Alcaraz's flat performance, closing out the match in just 86 minutes after the win. Ruud told Sky Sports Tennis that it felt great to finally beat Alcaraz, admitting he's often seen as the underdog against him. Well, let's hear from the Ruud one himself, who's giving Alcaraz, giving Carlos Alcaraz a rude awakening.
I think the fact that this is the first match of the tournament for both of us. It's been a long year, and it's a fast indoor court. Maybe not necessarily what maybe neither Carlos or I prefer the most, but I play as an underdog. I'm not the favorite on paper. I think there are many players ahead of me that are the favorite to do better here. But in the past, I've been able to do pretty good here, and I don't really know why, but let's just say, my game is not boosting of confidence for the last weeks or months. So it was really nice to get a win today and save at least a big win during the season to the end of it.
This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbete TV Radio, the pathfinder for radio. This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbete TV Radio, the best in entertainment and sport.
Well, I've done my 30 minutes. It's your turn now. Take your 30 minutes. Maybe longer, maybe shorter. Depends. Where the message ends, that's where the show ends. But I've done my beat. And I've got a few other messages here to touch on. This one is coming from WhatsApp. Some people just like being on the WhatsApp show. Hey, Tawawani, what's up? Tawawani, say, good morning, sir. I'm listening to your show. I'm watching your show and listening to you. You're having fun. I like your jersey. Baba, give me the jersey. I forget out of this place. What's wrong with you, Tawawani? This jersey, I should give you my own. Come and take now. Come and take. Let's swap. Bring that Nottingham Forest red jersey. Yeah, that's Tawawani. This one is coming from... Simon says, how do you manage to stay consistent on your show with all the challenges of light, internet, and fluctuating community people? I tried doing live on a daily basis, and then I went to 3 times a week on my channel, and now I'm struggling with once a week. I really want to know how you manage to stay consistent. I have observed you for long. For me, I think I started YouTube before you, but you just keep going even when it doesn't feel like. I used to tell my friends, the guys that work with me, that don't worry, that it will soon slow down. But I think I'm wrong. What is your motivation? What keeps you going even in the face of such difficult challenges when you're running your YouTube from Nigeria? I'm hoping that when I move out of the country, I'll be able to be as consistent as you are, as internet and light will not be much of a problem. Just share a few secrets with me that might just push me going. Joel, let me start with this. If you go abroad, you still might not be able to be consistent. And it's not to swear, it's not a cost, unless you're carrying loads of money. The reason why you're on YouTube is that you don't have money. If you get money, well, you're not going to YouTube. I'm sorry to say, it's not disrespect, but it's just the truth that people don't want to hear. So I think it's habit. First off, I come from a regimented life. I've charted for me a regimented lifestyle. Like I'm like a military person. I'm a trained machine. What I mean by that is that I started out playing football, and you know how it is football. I used to go to train in the morning and in the evening, and then after I played professionally, and then I start coaching, and then I went into radio. Radio is all about timing and it's about consistency. And I'm one person who can beat my chest and tell you that I worked for 13 years. I never went to work late one day. I never missed work. I was always available for work. Okay, so that's the kind of guy that I am. When I came into YouTube, what makes YouTube difficult? Let me tell you what makes YouTube difficult. Especially doing live. You know, if you record a show and you edit it and you want to upload it, you don't really care. You put it there, you keep checking once in a while and see if they are getting engagement, because you want to reply messages when people comment, you want to answer questions and all that. As a content creator, there's going to come a time where you're not going to be able to, because if you start having millions of subscribers and hundreds of thousands of messages, you can't reply to everybody. But as a beginner, it will be very, very stupid and foolish of you not to. So, but me, I have a body that is trained. Like, people wake up to alarm clock. I've never used alarm clock. My body clock works perfectly. Now, having said that, I think that you have to understand that I come from radio, where I go to work every day, and I work from 6 a.m. I'm live on air from 6 a.m. to somewhere around 10:30. In between, punctuated by other people's show. But I'm the star of the morning show, of the morning shift, right? The AM shift. Now, with that, my system is already programmed to broadcast. So when I come on my live and do 1 hour or 2 hours, I always equate it to, okay, what if I was on radio? I'm going to do 6 to 10:30 or 6 to 11, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's actually 4 hours. I have 4 hours, not 5 hours. So 4 hours. That's 4 hours. And then I'm doing 1 hour or 2 hours here. I don't feel it. So that's how I train myself. So I wake up in the morning. I go drop my children in school. My children say they don't want to be going with school bus anymore. They want me to be dropping them. So I go drop them in school, come back. I walk the time very well. And then I come in. The only thing that I miss is that I'm now not able to go out like in the morning. I would have loved to go watch some boys that are training in different places, see some talent for myself, and then talk about them. I don't have that time anymore, because the time I'm doing my show is when they are doing their training. But then that's their hustle. This is my hustle. I'm not going to take my hustle for granted just because I want to go watch other people doing their hustle, right? So I find the balance in it. That's how I'm consistent. Now, motivation. Talking about motivation, my motivation is a lot. My motivation is going to be way, way different from any other person. Another person that is doing YouTube in Nigeria or anywhere might not have my kind of motivation. Motivation number one is the people who sack me and who brag that I will not last. This thing will not last. That for as long as I'm doing it in Nigeria, because of all the impediments, the internet, buying of fuel. Remember that time I was buying fuel, 1 gallon, I was buying it 2,500. Now I'm buying 1 gallon, 25 liter gallon, 35,000 naira, right? 35, some filling station, 38, 39,000, right? So between 35 and 40,000. But that's one motivation. Motivation number two is I'm a house housewife. I'm a house husband. What I mean by that is that my children see me do my work. I don't go to another office, go to another place, drive to one place through traffic and go do my job. My children see me do my work. And the easiest way, and I think that is rubbing off on them already. These days, I don't go to wake them in the morning to get ready for school. They know when to wake up. They get ready. They come down and Daddy, we're ready. Let's go to school. 6:45, 6:55, they are ready. I am going to take them to school. So they watch their dad do work. So that's the motivation to set the right example for them to see that, you know what, this is what you do. And then I talk a lot with them. Thirdly, bros, I need this channel to grow. I need the money. I've invested everything. I don't have a plan B. You have a plan B, you want to go abroad. Now, why I think that you cannot be able to do that? If you go abroad, you'll go work. Your work schedule is what will determine whether you'll be able to do YouTube live. So, and your work schedule might not just be all through night or all through day. It depends on where you're working anyway. But sometimes your shift might rotate, right? So you're going to be able to look at that and say, okay, can I do this? And then if you're a groovy kind of guy, if your work is paying you way more, because YouTube is very frustrating. Let's not lie to ourselves. YouTube is very, especially from an African perspective, West African perspective, it's very frustrating because, let me give you a very good example. The thing that I would do that would give me $100 will give somebody else in the UK and in the US $1,000 or £1,000 or £800, $1,000. So you look at the difference. The difference is massive, right? What I would do, that would exactly that same numbers that would give me $100. Is what will give somebody $1,000 in the US. So you look at that and you say to yourself, man, this is a struggle. So it's hard when you compare it like that. But again, I think that I'm always falling in love with anything I do at any given time. So if I'm coaching, I love it. I'm going to do it like my life depends on it. If I'm playing football, I love it. I'm going to do it like my life depends on it. I'm talking on radio, oh God, it's everything that I've got. I'm doing YouTube too, it's everything that I've got. And it's that mentality that I use to face it. So if you do the same thing, I'm just saying, if you do the same thing, I'm sure you definitely will be able to, be able to grow it, be consistent about it. And then if you're lucky, I hate to use the word luck, but if you're lucky in this contest, you would have people who would buy into your struggle, into your journey, see you. I think that naturally humans like to be able to stand on the side and watch somebody start something, and see the struggle, and then I say, you know what, I like the way this person is struggling through this. I want to be part of it. I want to support them irrespective of whatever happens, and I want to be part of their stories. So you would, and then that's what's happening for me right now. So it would happen, but it's not really secret or magic. It's just how badly do you want it. It's a payoff line that I used to tell my players when I was coaching them, and I got it from Benny He. Benny He was preaching about changes, that changes does not need miracle. If you drive this is how he put the illustration. If you drive a Volkswagen and you want to drive a Mercedes-Benz, it comes down to how badly do you want it. And once you start wanting it that bad, you start looking for, first off, you go and find out the cost of a Mercedes-Benz. You go and look at your balance in your account, and then you look at your savings habit, your spending, and what you can, do extra with the extra time that you have, earn more money, and then you start buying it. And the same thing with the house. If you live in a one-room apartment and you want to go to a condo, a bedroom, a 3-bedroom or 2-bedroom or whatever, it comes down to how badly do you want it. So it's the same thing for me. I also, my wife doesn't like me when I say it, but I tell her, I say, babe, this is all that I've got. This is all that I've got. I've not got any other thing. When this one succeeds, then multiple streams of income will come, but this one have to succeed first. Because the very minute I switch, go take that job. If I take a job and they're paying me 1 million, for instance, and I look at it like every month I get 1 million, YouTube, I know the can't take us serious again. I could post once in like 6 months if I get chance. It becomes if I get chance thing. I right now I'm busy because again I'm a grinder. Once I put my head into something and it's paying me now. Okay, I start thinking, okay, how do I go from any 1 million a year to maybe make it to 2 million or 5 million like that? How do I? What extra can I do here? And that would defeat this purpose, right? So, Joel, that's my own secret. I don't know about you, whether you work for you, I don't know. Kalijai Ibrahim Adiwali says, good morning, Elevator One of Sports. I greet everybody. Good morning. Precious Yedi was, I jacked the show today, sharp. He says, good morning, boss. Good morning to you. This referee issue should be a pointer to understand exactly what the odds are against unpaid people. Yeah. People don't think about that most time. I think I made a tweet about police the other day, and people were like, "Oh, you're holding an excuse for them." It's like your father is a policeman. So my father was never a policeman. My father was so educated in the first place, he wouldn't be a policeman in the first place. So let's not even have that conversation. There's nobody in the Nigerian police force that is half as educated as my dad. So let's not even go into that conversation. But somebody doesn't have to be my father for me to understand. Now, you look at the problem. You travel around. You go out. Now look at police barracks. Let's be very honest. How many of us here, and some of us here, watching this thing are children of policemen. Maybe too ashamed to say. But if you grew up in police barracks, look at the barracks first. I mean, how do you stay sane growing up in that kind of a place? And then again, your salary does not come early. Somebody who have a gun in his hand, who have a uniform that comes with authority, you're not paying him his salary regularly, and he's on the road. He can intimidate people for just cause or unjust cause, and you think that they will not misbehave? They will now. President Edward says, then secondly, when you sign up to do a job, why not do it well? Was the salary or payment not discussed with them before they started or took the offer? You see people who say these things, people who say this thing that you just said, so they are as evil as the devil. Let me give you a good example. When referees sign up to do this job, so it's a union thing, I agree. Players also sign up. Players were earning like 50,000 naira then. The player salaries have gone to 400,000, 500,000. The referee one doesn't go up. What's the referee do people? Is that not evil? And if they're damn tools, I agree that referees can be imported. Okay, there are certain jobs, and they used to say that to us when I was in Brilla. When I would say, people, you know how the problem with doing a job in public, in the eye of the public, is that even the person who earns more than you will be begging you for help. And when people used to call on me, let me talk for myself, and I'll say, look at me, I'm very honest. You reach out to me, say, help me, my wife nowhere, help me with money, and my salary, my 150,000 a month that is coming, I don't already borrow against time. I just spend and finish. And I'll tell you things like I don't have, and then you see them write things like Ubelefogo see hungry and I help I call for, you know, just want help, and you say you not get, you know, they don't understand. And so I remember when I started posting that this is what we earn, oh, this is what we earn. Nobody for here they earn 1 million, oh, and people thought I was lying. And then again, the people who were working were not telling me, hey, you fall our hand and don't be putting that in public. I said no, it's good to put it in public so that they stop begging us money, right? So whether they agreed or not, you have to understand that you cannot be asking me to perform at £1 million person's performance when you're actually giving me 1,500. I'm gonna give you 1,500 performance. That performance they're giving is their own way of crying out to say, you know what you pay is what you get. You cannot be paying £1,500 for match. Let me say everybody in that field is worth like a full state, and then you are telling me to come and perform and keep myself for what? Which insurance I get? That's simple. So it's just what it is. And then again, they hide under one thing called hobby. Refereeing is not a professional, it's not a job, it's a hobby. And I didn't do like hobby now. Why not the vest? I didn't do like hobby. Why the vest now? So I don't think that anybody should blame referees for that. Rather, we should look at it and say, okay, you know what? Let's even increase referees' pay first. Let's increase their pay, and then by the time you increase their pay, you now start saying, okay, we only want professional referees. If you cannot if you cannot officiate game, if you cannot go 10 games without controversies, we will go abroad and go and import referees. Then the story changes, okay? Because we're paying the same tax, we're paying the same bills, okay? It's not like I'm buying from a different market. President Ihedwa says a referee with that kind of hate for a manager or team will never give an objective opinion. Every referee have a hatred for managers and team. See, you see this job, people always, you know, like when I was in Brilla, people say, hey, you have to stay objective. Nobody's objective. Nobody is objective. I'm an Arsenal fan. I have soft spot for them. I have to train myself to learn how not to be passionate about it. But it hurts me to see Arsenal lose games. It does. Because it's the only club I've supported all my life. It's like I also like AC Milan. I feel very bad when I see AC Milan lose games. At some point, I don't watch them anymore because I grew up watching an AC Milan that have the best players in the world. Even their bench have better players than players that are playing for some of the best leagues in the world. So all of a sudden to see them be the joke, Liverpool go and be the 3-0. This one going, Jesus, AC Milan that everybody wants to be like, you know, it is what it is, right? But when you do the job, you now get to the point, okay, I'm building a brand. It's on the crest of building that brand that you can say, okay, I want to stay as objective as I can. But even in that objectivity, sometimes lines are crossed. The lines will get blurred and you don't even know when you're doing it, right? So it's easy to talk about the referee's job like this from our side until you're there. You're running for 90 minutes, you're not even kicking the ball. You're not kicking the ball. This ball that is exciting everybody, go. You will never score a goal in your life. And then it could happen. And a human, they'll not be machines. They'll not be robots. Robots, I mean, what's it called? Precious anyway, say on the issue of Man United, I think this coach will do well. The same. It seems to be the real deal. Oluwaseyi Adebowale say, for me, I think the referee is allowed to have his opinion on Jurgen Klopp, but the problem is him allowing it to be recorded and released. Now he record them. Now he release them. He tell us say, hey, I want to get my opinion. I want to talk to Jurgen Klopp now. I'm gonna call record them 4 years time. I'm gonna release them. No, he didn't do that. You know, it's a crazy world that we live in. That everybody wants to trend. Everybody wants to hold something against you. Everybody wants to tie up some things against you and use it against you tomorrow. But just like I tell a friend, somebody asked me, say, we'd always go visit this. There's a guy who's our friend. He's in politics. I've never seen you in this place. I said, I need to go visit politicians. He said, why? I said, because politicians always record everybody when they come visit them, and they can manipulate the video. You come like say you go beg money. I mean, I don't like their opinion. I'm very strong on my opinion. I consider my opinion my fundamental human right? I'm very strong on it. So and I know once you're in politics, you're going to do something that is not right. You're going to say something, and then you're going to publish a video when not heads on social media will be saying they need what they think. You know, you can edit a video, cut it one kind, and write a caption around it. before you go explain, it don't happen. They don't take up story on you, finish. It don't end. Anytime you talk, it's like that Dangote Yash. If the talk always come and say Dangote Yash get crocro, if they say, we say I'm online. There's nothing you can do. No matter what Tiwa Savage go do, fine, sexy, beautiful girl, we say Akpoyo for public. It stays. You don't understand. So some of these things you've got to be like, okay, yeah, I'm this guy, my brand is very volatile. I'm not gonna be in a place where I'm caught and I like to be in control of my thing. So this kind of people, and then they go there, and then again, because of the kind of crowd that comes around them, some of the studios I see it there that day. Now, let's be careful. So I just told myself, Bobby, no, don't worry. I don't want to be seen around people like this. I know my people. I know who my friends are, and I can defend why I'm hanging around them, and the whole world knows that this one will give one error, so it's fine. Process anyone says that referee is allowed to have his opinion if he is only a fan. He, however, is involved directly in the outcome of the result, and on several occasions have made numerous questionable calls. Every referees make questionable calls for and against teams, right? The days, listen, there's this thing we said one time when I was in Brilla. I was like, if they make questionable calls for your team against another team, and you do not come out in the press ranting that we won this game because the referees inefficiency caused the opposition, man, shut up when he works against you. That's the way. That's what I believe. That's why I always say to footballers when they complain about criticism, I say, shut up. When I praise you, they come back and complain. You don't come out to say, oh, the praise too much, or I not deserve them. So shut up when you do wrong and I criticize you. Every time Moses Simon and some of his main team, it don't help another team. That two people they play the game now. If you spoil the game for team A, if favor team B, it's Machiavellian. You take one kingdom to fall for that kingdom to rise. So you can't sit there and take it and say, oh, we did well. When we go where you not see you praise your boys, everybody's fine. But referee made a bad call that favored you. You're not talking about it. Now when he call no favor you, now you want the whole world to gather and come and down. You're saying, no, I don't think that one. I love that says good morning, boss. Good morning to you. Seems Ruben Amorim check his contract that he was given 2.5 years. All this sacking and appointing is just funny to me, but we will see what happens. I think he's doing the right thing. He's got 2.5 years. What it means is that the first 18 months of a 2.5 years contract is what really matter. The first 18 months, leaving 1 year remaining. If you do well, Pep Guardiola signs 3 years contract now. All the contract Pep Guardiola does sign have always been 3 years. And then it gets to the 1 year to the end, and then you hear that they renewed it. That's why 2 Novembers ago, Pep Guardiola renewed his contract. Now they are begging him to renew again. So almost 3 years ahead. So we can find that balance. I think that if he gets the job going well this season, it takes them, let's say hypothetically, it takes them to the top 4. 4th position, worst case scenario. And then next season again, they are in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. The management will go and negotiate for a new contract now. The players are not all that bad. If they want to kick out players from Man United, not reach 5. The bad players in the team, not reach 5. Rashford, top of the list. What's that with the hammerhead? Maguire. So that's 4. You see, I'm still struggling to get the 5th one. So it's not like they have a rotten team, a team that is dead. When Arteta took over Arsenal, the entire team needed to go. The entire squad was shit. And so this one, remember, Amorim have a team that he can work with, whatever system, whatever style, anything he wants to do, he can work with and get it done. Tosilema, they say, now, they worry those players. They are over-pampered, professional. They don't have any KPI to measure their growth. What he said was, if he Jones invariably was just calling Ten Hag shit without putting his name out there. Motivation to do your job, like you rightly said, is your salary. I be them they owe me. I don't understand. You know, all those motivation put a hammer around him. I don't know who invent that talk, because we used to have coaches who would tell the player that I don't like you. I don't like black players. I don't like this. I don't like that. And you still go on the field and go and play your heart. You can sign anybody. Toselemade says, I wonder what is on the player's mind when you know you have training in the morning and you are out all night clubbing. Don't mind them. Toselemade says, nobody they put hand around them to go club. Nobody they put hand around them to go do sescapade. But they want somebody to put hand around them to play the ball where they pay them for. If not, they're supposed to go back to their obscurity where they for come for. They don't go schools, most of them, but they want a hand around them, kissing and loving and hugging. Okay, now we do Netflix and choose to play ball. They say now salary and bills they motivate me. When I see the bills and compare it with my salary, the energy must come. Are there days I feel like hugging the bed all days? Yes, but money must be made, and it's not on the bed. Absolutely. I've been going with a bad pain on my shoulder, on my back, that is affecting my hand, giving me a blinding headache on the right side of my eyes for days now. I hate to take medication. I hate to swallow medicine because I always have this mind that when you swallow a medicine, it goes to fix a problem and then goes again to cause another problem. So I, by all means, I'm a water, food kind of guy. You know, that's why I don't drink minerals, I don't drink alcohol, but I have to. Because at some point I couldn't even lift this my hand up, and it's crazy. Those days I feel like just staying on the bed, just lie down flat, say it is finished. My bills are high, you. I have 3 very expensive children. My bills are high. The numbers said they match up. So I don't need anybody to put hands around me. I will do my job. Lokman Adebayo say a man who received 350k a week needs to be pampered before doing his job. Rashford was one of ETH's favorite players. What is Phil Jones talking? I don't know. And I just don't know. When I hear this thing, people say, oh yeah, poor man. Lie. Okay, somebody needs to put hand around Dangote to go out doing work. Okay now. Amorim says, good morning, family people. Enzo Maresca has been great for Chelsea FC. Ruben, the Amorite, will need to first make his presence felt in the United dressing room, make it his own, and cut off every dead wood. Tosin says, look, man, the thing tire me. Money where they see in a week, some people won't see it in a lifetime. And is that not enough encouragement? Me today, people they work under toxic manager. Now, they worry the player. I say, like, nobody can convince me, but when I say it, people say, hey, when you get to that level, you understand. I cannot understand. I cannot. There's nothing to understand there. These guys are not doing well. Like I say, for me, Maresca has done really well. For Amorim, will have the witches of 92 to contend with. If he ignores their distraction, he will do well. Now that kind of witchcraft, now Mikel Obi one form before with the podcast too, but Nicholas Jackson just quickly answer him and then he don't shut up. You know, this kind of needless opinion, advice, okay? Just remember they say, now today people they work under toxic, it don't take working environment, you will come realize, say, you know what, your friends are your friends. Now workplace is not a place to make friends, because again, people are always working to undo you, to get ahead of you. You become a target if the boss like you. You become a target if you're doing your work. Well, because for every excellence you exhibit, you are making other people who are not performing at that level be under pressure, and they will not like you. So people just come on, you shouldn't be doing that. Shut up. We should. We actually should. I think let me not even talk about that one. Let's move on. Henry Warren says Arteta has to get the mojo back on ASAP. With whatever he needs to do, he has to be humble enough to accept that Saka and Odegaard needs competition, and also accept that the team needs a top striker ASAP. Okay? So Babajide say, Babami, now Dubai trip be the way to go, and get a Gyökeres is what Arteta needs to do. Like I say, Arteta needs more flexibility. He is too predictable, and it is looking like he has done his best. He needs to freshen his backroom staff or add a new perspective to it. Buy a number 9 that add goals. So Babajide says, Baba, you are doing well, seeing your kids and impacting on them the right information. You would like to see them run with true life without a third party involved, gives a refreshing feeling. So whatever you says, Baba, can you bring someone like Mof Fijemba, Idemudia, Slaps, Aaron Akejola, no, I will not bring Aaron, to co-host this show with you once in a while. I think it can attract more people to this platform. First off, that might not happen. You know why? The reason we do views from the stand, I brought in people that are way better than all the names you mentioned. First off, Maresca is the head of UEFA Data and Statistics Unit. He's working with over 700 football clubs, players, and coaches cumulatively. He just came from Portugal, where he went to go help set up the Portuguese data collation center for the Portuguese Football Federation. That's the guy I have on the views from the start. I don't care what anybody says. That's the show that everybody should be jumping on. So even if I bring Murphy Jemba, between me and you, let's use Twitter to gauge. I have looked at Murphy Jemba's post. Murphy posts a lot on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. What's the engagement level like? Aaron, forget about it. That one, it's not there. Idemodia have a YouTube channel. My channel and I got for where channel is. So I'm not against them. I mean, Idemodia's voice. This is Idemodia's voice all over my station. That's how close we are. I'm saying that a lot of people have stopped me on the road and said I should do that. First off, it's not gonna work. Murphy is in the US. Our time zones are different. He prepares for work. He's sleeping right now. Aaron works with Arise TV. They will sack him if he tries that. Idemodia works with another radio station. I don't know if they will allow him to do that. But even if we do, that's not what's gonna work. The content that people want are the content that I don't want to do. People want you to be doing banter, to be jumping on the street and be asking people questions that would embarrass them. If your mother had 4 children, one's name is Jane, the other one is Joanne, the third one is Johnson. What's the name of the fourth one? All those mistakes. What is your gender? Spell conscience. Spell CHOAS is what? All the kind of thing. As much as they are good, I don't think they last. And that's not who I represent. I still believe that we can have straight, intelligent, and focused conversation that would drive and stimulate the channel. And if that's not working, then let's completely say that I have failed in this project. But I mean, there's gonna come a project that I have failed at. Okay, maybe this one will be that one, but all those things that you are saying, those guys individually are not doing. Their numbers are not even half as good as mine. So unless you're telling me to go get maybe what's that guy, Fabrizio Romano, maybe. Because again, let's look at it. For instance, I've done the biggest interviews anybody's doing on YouTube right now. I've done the biggest interview on this side of the Atlantic or the Pacific or Mississippi. I've spoken with David Dean. I've spoken with Martin Tyler. I've spoken with some of the biggest players. You see the numbers. I don't think that dragging Murphy Jemba into the show co-host. Nah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Let's do something that we can because that calls for desperation. And I've always tried my life. I don't want to be desperate. These numbers will grow. Don't worry. They will grow because at some point people would. You see the dust of this everybody doing podcasts, everybody doing content will not die down. People cannot do gossip forever now. People cannot come on and say, to talking stage is 20 million. It's not a sustainable conversation. Right? It's not a sustainable conversation. At some point it will die, that dust will fall down, and people will want to have real, genuine conversation, and that's where I stay. Consistency is way more important than sensationalization, as far as I'm concerned anyway. But Lucky Gali says the referee even looks drunk in that video. I pity him, Sha. He is one of the better refs in the league. Mario Nathaniel says, as a Chelsea fan, Enzo Maresca is like a breath of fresh air. And finally on the show today, it's 1 hour, 3 minutes gone already. Yemi Dynamite, my beautiful little sister, says, Uncle E, good morning. Do you think Arsenal and Arteta can do a surprise top transfer in January? Because if Edu was not leaving, I would answer this question with a yes. If Edu was not leaving. But because Edu is leaving, nobody would like to entrust him with the funds to go and strike up a deal and then he leaves. Like the guy who did Nicolas Pepe did, he was leaving and he did that deal. And it's a racket, whether you like it or not. But to the eyes of every black person, we put they do racket, but now they do racket pass. Racket is not an honorable word; it's an English word. So I think that the board would learn from that and say, okay, you know what? Let's just run to the summer and see how it goes. But then I hope that they prove me wrong and they go do a deal for a striker. But then again, who is the striker that they will bring? Because I'm sure I'm beating my chest here saying Amorim would have told Guy Courage that don't worry, let me go. I might not be able to get you in January, it's too early, but I'll definitely look for ways to set up the team so that players like Rashford or probably Zexi, this is me just guessing, they don't write them anywhere, or Højlund are not doing well, and I would demand for you, because as a coach going into a new team, you have the right to demand for at least 5 players in your first 2 transfer windows. So I'll demand for you, and you come in, one, you know that they'll give you big pay, it would make you, things will change, blah, 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 blah. So that kind of situation can happen, right? So it now makes the possibility of Victor Gyökeres going to Arsenal very difficult. Now, another name is Victor Osimhen. Now, 75 million, not really big money. Not really big money. If you sign Declan Rice for what you paid for him and a few other players, then Victor Osimhen is not really big money. But I'm one of those persons who just, I don't know. Maybe I'm clouded by beef or anger. I don't know. I just don't think that Victor Osimhen will work for Arsenal. Might come in, do well one season, and then he begin to nosedive, and that will become a very big problem for the long-term buying of big players in Arsenal, because they've already gotten bought by Nicolas Pepe. So you don't want to spend big money, and Declan Rice is not looking like a failure. Declan Rice is looking like a bad signing. So to spend big money again, and then the player gives you only 1 year in a 5 years or 4 years contract, I don't think it's a good one. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes eventually anyway, but I don't know. Adego Kyobembe says, keep up the good work. You will soon see the result. Thank you very much, my brother. This is one of those guys who started with us. The Bayern deal that we enjoyed today, that's, giving my crew, that opportunity to travel out of the country, do things. They make it happen. And, all of them came together to say, you know what, don't worry, we'll be behind you, even though you are a no-name. Not now. When we started, we were a no-name. Long before COVID, okay? But they all put together and say that we will trust you, don't worry, keep it going. Olafat says, is it only me, but I thought Arsenal against Chelsea was moving through the Martinelli position than the Saka position against Chelsea. Martinelli, that doesn't happen every time. Well, it's true, and that's because Cucurella actually had Bukayo Saka on lockdown, so you couldn't see him do anything. So what about you to say, I'm just thinking how our community will grow. I know you're thinking, but then again, we also have to answer the questions, because if I leave it hanging, it'll be like, oh, you suggested, and then somebody else will not suggest. So we need to answer the questions and let you understand that me and Murphy will have had conversations. I wanted him on